Many people approach me and talk about the strategy of building a team culture. How do you get people focused on being a team? How do you get everyone to be on the same page? How do you map key activities in order to achieve like real team cohesion? How do you get people to really talk to each other? And I think the first step is probably the most important one. It talks about how to lead with vision. So, when you're trying to be a good leader, when you're trying to be effective, you want to make sure you have a clear vision and strategy of what you're trying to achieve. And it sounds quite simple. I believe it was Jonathan Swift who said, "Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others." So, sometimes a vision doesn't have to be something that's black and white, concrete, right in front of you that you can hold in your hand. Sometimes the vision is something that is completely invisible to others, but something that you can see in your frame of reference in your mind. And I think that's important. I know that I've worked in many company cultures where I genuinely felt empowered to do my best without feeling weighed down by constant stress. So sometimes when you feel like you're in an environment where it's toxic or creativity or autonomy is being stifled, you need to figure out a way to escape that mindset. So the best places that I've ever seen actually have a mix of both. It's not all happy times. It's not all Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but it's a mix of push and pull, right? And this is where you have to understand how trade offs work. There's no perfect setup without a little bit of tension woven in, because if there's not pressure or tension, then it's not keeping the team on a high performing state. So, having seen all the different cultures didn't mean that you instantly know how to create the great one. Sometimes knowing what you don't want to do or knowing what you can't do is what's going to bring you to that particular aspect and take you to where you need to be. Um, Sometimes you have to trade out your vision of what you had in your mind for something better. And I think that if you understand the concept of the Tuckman model, the forming, storming, norming, performing, you can get there. Next, you have to plot strategic goals. Now, this is interesting. The thing about having a vision and setting goals is you got to get past the fact that you can't just snap your fingers and make things happen. It just doesn't happen that way. It's like a roadmap, a set of actions or checkpoints that are going to guide you towards the results you want. So sometimes you need to bring that vision to life. You need to make sure that you have an intrinsically motivated team. So the aim here is to create a team driven by their own excitement for the work, not by external validation. We want them to feel encouraged and confident that they can overcome challenges, that they can work independently, and they can really drive things home. Second, you want them to be multi-skilled. You want them to have multiple disciplines. You don't want them to just put all their eggs in one basket. You want them to be able to do things you want them to be able to do things that they know how to do and learn how to do things that they can't. The best teams are always cross-functional. You want to actualize the potential of the employees. So the goal here is to provide an environment that lets people reach their full potential. So if you think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it focuses on building a supportive environment where everyone can thrive and grow. Whether it's skill cultivation, intrinsic motivation, or self-actualization, this is what gets you to where you need to be. So the idea behind a strategy is to strike a balance between building a team of naturally motivated people who could share skills, grow together, and work towards company mission. When people are put into a challenging environment, it pushes them to rise to the occasion. That makes sense. They end up in a prime position for success. This setup encourages continual growth and smart risk taking since everyone has each other's back, right? Kind of like when you're part of a group or part of an agency or part of a team, it just encourages everyone to work for each other. If you picture a team that's motivated on just external rewards only, like promotions or bonuses, people might only help a teammate if they can weigh in at how it impacts their own advancement, their own skills. So you need to stop getting out of that. Okay, next I want to talk for a minute about systems thinking or activity mapping. System thinking is a key because even small changes, adding or removing certain activities, can seriously impact the direction of a culture. So if you think about, now I almost forgot the name of the book. There are a couple of books out there that teach you how to make micro changes. Atomic Habits. Couldn't think of the name of it right away. Atomic Habits is a book, and it teaches you how to make micro changes, small changes that allow you to work towards a bigger change. So you need to map out activities that align with your goals and make small changes to get there. Things that directly support your goal and are going to help you reach the end point. So you want to make sure you build out activity maps and see exactly where people are and what their needs are. And then the last thing, I think this is going to be the last one. We're going to talk about continuity and persistence. So sometimes you really have to be persistent in what you're trying to do, and your message has to be the same. You need to make sure that as you're working with leaders, as you're working with teams, that you're not constantly bouncing all over the place with your message, that your message is consistent and clean, and that everybody understands your message and they're all on board. If you can do these things, that's going to help you really build a team culture that's healthy, and it's going to help the team want to lean in on you for success. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.